for making up. How about visitors, other visitors? Cliff.
Today we have a returning visitor, Mark Hickory. He's a transplant, I would say, at Hickory from Bend, Oregon. How can you leave beautiful Oregon to come to beautiful Hickory? We'll ask him that later. But Mark Pearson.
Anybody else on the right? About down the middle. Left side. Any? Lynn.
President David, I'm happy to have Tara Bland with us today. She is Executive Director of the Salt Block Foundation.
Let me know if you need to ask anybody questions about the Salt Block Directorship. Find somebody. Okay, any other visitors? Okay, our Rotary moment, Drew Van Horn.
What a great welcome. Thank you so much. It's my first time doing the Rotary moment, and I had to follow a great person last week. Way to go. That's the way to set a man up. There are no birthdays this week for our Rotary Club. I walked around some of the tables to see if there were any announcements. Do we know of any of our Rotarians, former Rotarians that may be ill or in the hospital? Does anybody know of anyone?
Yeah, Drew, heard a rumor that Bob Holland is coming back from Raleigh in the next week or two.
Okay.
So
Bob Holland is coming back from Raleigh in the next week or two. Thank you for sharing that. The other good news is Little Ryan Bears are number 5 in the nation. Knocking it off one at a time. As I said, it's hard to follow last week, but I've been in education for 35 years. One time when I first got started, I was at Campbell University, which is the eastern part of the state, and to make a little bit of money, they hired me to be a substitute teacher at a union school, which, for those of you who don't know, that's K through 12 in the same building. And I reported, and they asked me to be the kindergarten teacher, my first assignment. And I was there for a week or so and got to know some of the kids, and there was a little bitty fella. He was a little smaller than a lot of the other first graders, and he kind of walked like he knew where he was going, had a little authority, a little bit of a troublemaker. So I got out of school one day, and I'm walking to my car, and I see him at a house right beside the school. And he's just reaching and straining to ring the doorbell. And so I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, Bobby, how you doing?" And I rang the doorbell and I looked down at him. He said, "Now quick, run like fire." Another little story, there was a teacher who asked the students, "I'd like for you to stand up and tell us what one of your parents does for a living, spell it, and tell us what they would do if they were here today." And the first young person got up and said, "My mom is a banker, B-A-N-K-E-R. And if she were here, she'd give you each a quarter." The next little kid stood up and said, "My dad is a baker, B-A-K-E-R. And if my dad were here, he'd give us each a cookie." Third little boy stood up, said, "My dad is an electrician. That's L-E-C E-L-K, and the teacher said, "That's okay, honey, sit down, we'll come back to you." Other little boy stood up and said, "My dad's a bookie, B-O-O-K-I-E, and if he were here, he'd give you 10 to 1 odds that kid's never going to spell electrician."
Okay, good start. We'll see how you do as you go along, Drew. Good start. Cliff Moon, you want to make an announcement?
President David, I just wanted to take a moment to announce that on Tuesday, a fellow Rotarian of the Newton Conover Club and a friend to all of Catawba County, and Sylvia Ray, received the highest honor that you can receive in the state of North Carolina, the Order of the Longleaf Pine. And I just thought you all might, many of you know her very well, and I thought you would like to know that. So. Still
an icon in the county for sure. As you, I'm sure, had it on your calendar last week and will this week, we're working at Partnership for Children as they relocate their offices. And there are flyers on the tables, right, Leslie? Yes. And we had some workers there last week, Lamar, Mark Seaman, Jamie Brown, Michael McNally, and Leslie was there. And so that's a good start, but we want to have at least that many more this Saturday. And so check that flyer out, and this is part of our volunteer effort for somebody that we are contributing money to, which we're all about this year. And she'll tell you a little bit more about that as she comes up later. Next week is our meeting with Lake Hickory Rotary Club. So we want to have big attendance. We're a bigger club than they are, so we want to have more people than they have, at least. So be sure to be here and tell everybody about that. I think it's going to be a fun day. It'll be mostly fellowship. You know, we'll probably start a little bit late, and we'll have time for everybody to really have a lot of fellowship. So you don't have to all sit at the table with all your own members. You can actually intermingle, and we'll find out that some people, like Floyd, are actually members of the other club and not members of our club. So it should be a fun time, and we've got several things planned this year that are together with that club. Our Christmas social, we're working on getting that together, and then we're going to meet with them on Tuesday in March, and a couple other things that we're looking to do together. So just generally to promote Rotary and for sharing ideas. We have area presidents meet together. We're having another meeting on Monday. So we're just trying to basically keep that going, and that's one step in that. We're doing that next week. So please be here and please talk that up so that we'll have everybody and move around and sit with some of them and welcome them here to our club. That's next Thursday. The Strategic Planning Committee met again yesterday, and they are now ready. This is a subcommittee, and the subcommittee now is ready to go back to the larger Strategic Planning Committee. And from there, they're going to develop what we hope is the strategic plan by the end of the year and present it to the board and to the club. So that is ongoing, and if you are not a part of that and want to be, let Guy know, or Lamar. They're the two that are really heading this thing up, and we'll make sure you get on the email list. And if you were in that first couple of big meetings, you should be getting a note about when that's going to be. It's not been set yet, but it will be coming up really soon. Anything else on that, Guy?
No, that's good.
Okay. So that's very important for our club. We need to really decide, where we're going with all our programs, what our emphasis is going to be. Is it going to continue to be what it is? How we're going to look at membership. There's a lot of things that have been going on. It's been a great group that's really worked hard getting us to this point. Now when we get to the bigger groups, we hope that plan comes into life. Okay, Rotarian Idol is underway, and we're going to talk about it, every week. So you're eligible to sell ads at any point. I don't know if we have forms yet. Does anybody know that?
Not yet. Steve Mull and I are getting together with the committee next week to iron out all the details. But if anybody wants to serve on the Dream Team, which is what David's talking about, the ad sales, please see me after the meeting today. And
everyone's eligible, and certainly anyone is eligible to get an ad. And we kind of look for everyone to have at least a $150 ad or volunteer hours to make that equal. So this is a good way it's pretty easy to do. There's a lot of potential out there for at least, and that's 150, 250, and 500.
And our major sponsors are $1,000 and up.
And we emphasize and up, right?
Yes, and up.
Yeah, anything they want to do. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We will be reminding you, and we'll have all the details. We'll start getting ironed out each week, and the auditions are early in January, so sooner than you think. It's almost November. So here we are. Okay, today is a club assembly, and we didn't tell you that ahead of time, maybe, so that you'd actually show up. But we're trying to make each club assembly. They're sort of required by Rotary, and it's to update the club on what's going on, and we're going to do that today. And we've got a lot of good things going on. We have given some money away already, which we promised to do. Since we already knew what money we had to give and we had the money, we're going to give it away earlier. And we've already done that, and we have some groups here representing those people that have been awarded the money. So we're going to have them come up here in just a minute. First thing we're going to do, though, is we have 5 new members to induct. And that's a great thing. We need to do that every month. We need to have 5 every month, and we'll be in good shape. But this is a great job that membership committee is doing, and we're going to induct them at this time. So if I could have the new inductees and their sponsors please come forward. You know who you are. It's okay. We didn't rehearse this part. Okay, fellow Rotarians, it is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today I welcome to the ranks and admit into membership Philip Reed, Michael McNally, Beth Medlock, Pam Barber, and Kristen Arditti. I'm going to ask their sponsors to say a little bit about each one of them, and I'll start because I am sponsoring Michael McNally. And Michael is sort of a transfer. He was in the Burke County Club where he was head of the Chamber of Commerce in Burke County. He moved back here to Catawba County to be the head of existing industry for the EDC, for the Economic Development Corporation, and that's his position now, and joins us in our Rotary Club. He and his wife Christina have 3 girls, a 6-year-old and 4-year-old twins. So, pat him on the back or rub that head or something. So, Michael McNally is a proposed member.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce Kristen Arditti. Kristen is from Florida, and she moved here about 14 years ago. She went to the University of Florida and is a Gator. I don't know that we have any other Gators in here. Yes. Kristen is married to Ted, and they've been married for 14 years. She has 2 young boys, 7 and 9, 8 and 10.
10, yeah, 8.
8 and 10. And she works with the Catawba Science Center as their director of placement. Advancement. Advancement.
Kristen.
I'm going to have to punch because I sent Pam Barber an email and said you need to be prepared to speak about yourself for about a minute. So she talks into my right ear. This is Pam Barber. She's from Tenet Health. She has more titles over there than I can remember. Every time I've introduced her, I've had to get her card so I didn't forget any of the titles. One of the things that I look for in bringing guests and prospective members is, are they smart and are they successful? And I think you're looking at one of them. Say something.
Well, I've been married for 21 years. My son is a sophomore at Lenore University. My daughter is a freshman at South Caldwell High School. I myself am a graduate of Lenore University. I've been working at Fry for 22 years. It's the first place I worked right out of college, and I loved it so much I just decided to stay.
Thank you.
I didn't ask him, but I think Philip Reed, who was from Atlanta, is smart and successful. You are, right? Okay. He's been a Rotarian for 34 years. He got involved in 1980 right outside of Atlanta, and is transferring in from that club. So he's got a lot of Rotary experience. So if you need any consultation, ask our newest member. But he is married to 2 grown children and family in the area, and he was in the telecommunications, is retired from the telecommunications business in Atlanta, where he worked in marketing, and after that enjoyed an encore, I guess, career, shorter career after that, after retiring with the American Red Cross. So, Philip Reed. And I just learned that I have to pretend to be Ernie Mache, so if somebody will give me a stool to stand on, I'll try to rise to his height. But I've known Beth for quite some time, but I didn't know all the details, so I'm going to read just a few things for you. I do know that she was involved in NASCAR for over 20 years, worked with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. She has a son, Connor Cooper, 6 years old. Yep. Did I get that part right? I haven't looked at my notes yet. That's right. She's from Pinehurst, North Carolina, so I'm assuming you're a good golfer. And she is the regional program manager in Western North Carolina for the Pretty in Pink Foundation. She probably recall she did a program for us about a month ago. Very good job with that. So I think I got everything. So, President.
The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage and foster the following. First, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. And that's what we get by coming here every week. We have the opportunity to meet and fellowship with people in other businesses and like occupations, and that's one of the founding tenets of Rotary. Second, high ethical standard in business and professions, recognition of the worthiness of useful occupations, and dignifying by each Rotarian of his occupation as an opportunity to serve society. So it's not just to be in business to make money, that's what you want to do so that you can stay in business, but Rotary, we hope, fosters good business ethics and quality businesses all around. Third, the application of the ideal of service by every Rotarian to his personal business and community life. So we foster the chance to do community service, to use your business in community service, and to be the service club. And we are striving to be the best service club in Catawba County. That's something that we've talked about a lot in our strategic plan. So that's also a big reason that you would want to be in this club. Fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. And Rotary International is, Rotary International, is truly international. If you read your Rotarian magazine, you all get it. It's got some good stuff in there, and you see a lot of great things being done on an international basis. There are clubs all over the world, and everywhere you go, there's a Rotary club, and there's a lot of good things going on all over the world. And we want everyone to be a part of it. It's going to be a little more focal point in our club this year. Suzanne Trollin is going to be heading that up, and we've got some things coming up. So international service is another thing that is important. So I charge you to judge yourself by the Rotary four-way test of the things you think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So now, new Rotarians, you have been elected to membership in this club because your fellow members believe you to be a worthy representative of your calling and also to possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify in your public, business, social, and private life the true spirit of Rotary. I wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted not only to the Hickory Rotary Club, but to a worldwide association. By virtue of your membership in this club, you'll be welcomed into the fellowship of any Rotary club in the world. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it duties and obligations. You'll be expected to attend the club meetings regularly, to perform your share of club service, and to place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in its task of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. So now I'll ask that the sponsors present the pins and the certificates of the object of Rotary, the four-way test, and the membership certificate. Of course, they're all suitable for framing. Okay, I present to you Philip Reed, Michael McNally, Beth Medlock, Pam Barber, and Kristen Arditi. Okay, as I said, we have, Charitable Giving Committee has met and given some money out, and there are 3 groups that are been entitled to get some money so far, and we want to just hear a little update of what they're doing and some, volunteer opportunities and that sort of thing. So Jenny White, I'll ask to come up first. Southwest School. We're partnering with Southwest School on a couple of things, and she'll tell you about that.
Thank you, President David. Good afternoon. Oh, that sounded like we ate too much and are asleep. We'll try it again. Good afternoon. A little better. I want to start by saying thank you to the Hickory Rotary Club for the partnership that we have had for the past year. Last year was the first year for the Young Rotarian Student Council at Southwest Elementary, and it's very impressive to see the difference that leadership opportunity has made in the lives of 9 young people. We set it up to do similar to Rotary in that we had a president-elect that was a 4th grader that's now a 5th grader that automatically became president. That's the only child that did not have to run for office again. And she has just blossomed in her leadership role. She comes to me and says, because we're in the midst of doing elections now, they finished their campaign speeches today. They've got posters in the halls, and the elections are tomorrow. So earlier in the week, Maddie came to me and said, Miss White, are we having the ballots like we had last year with the kids' pictures on them? The kids. That's what she called it, the kids' pictures on them. And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, what do I need to do to help you with that? Do you want me to help you count them? And I said, well, I'll tell you what, since it's your peers, I said, let the adults count them, but you can do the announcements. So she was thrilled to do that. She's been doing our announcements all school year, and she comes to me and says, now we need to think about this, 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 and this. So had you guys not helped provide the funding for this and the support for this, this is a child that would not be where she is currently with her own leadership ability. And it's just really fun to watch. When I brought the kids, we would come a couple at a time for lunch last year, and they were so excited. And it wasn't all about getting to ride in the Mustang with the top off, although that was pretty cool, and not having to eat lunch at school. But they just felt like they were somebody. And they would go back and they would tell their peers about getting to come to Rotary lunch. So even though you may not have been in the school and actually done something physically to help make this a reality, your involvement has really made a difference in these kids. So I'm pretty excited to get to announce the next crew tomorrow. And then a week from tomorrow, which is World Polio Day, we'll do the inductions. And Mark and his crustacea are coming. They love that. That's pretty, they think Conrad's just really cool anyway. So we have a PowerPoint that we pulled off of a Rotary website that talks about the Purple Pinky Project, because we'll kick that off on Friday too. And so in conjunction with the inductions and World Polio Day, we will do Purple Pinky Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So one of my pleas today would be anybody that's available to come and paint pinkies. About 9 o'clock, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning, the kids will come with their dollar and their fingers. So we're trying to get Lowe's to donate some cookies for us again this year. So we'll give them a cookie just like they do when they go do this in other places. We'll paint their pinky. We'll tell them that you are a hero because you just helped 10 people that you'll never meet. And because of your $1, that makes you a hero. And they just, they stand a little taller when you tell them that. But we're really trying to make them understand service. And service not just within the school, because they'll do one service project in the school, and then they do at least one service project out in the community, plus the Purple Pinky. So that's where we are with that. The other thing that I would throw out to you is our reading scores are not where we want them to be. We have lots of rationale and reason behind that, but the bottom line is we need more help with reading. And anybody that has some spare time, retired folks, I would love to have anybody, retired or not, that would like to come and read with kids or listen to kids read. We're looking for reading buddies all the time. You don't have to have special training. It doesn't take anything extraordinary except just a little bit of your time. But again, it gives kids an opportunity to make a connection to an adult and make them feel special and important. And it gives us the opportunity to have more hands to help with the needs that we have in our school, because we have a lot of needs with our kids. So that would be that. So thank you again.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. And we'll be buying T-shirts for the officers, right? The student council, and then we're getting them some little tokens that have the 4-way test on them that they'll keep, kind of like a coin, Rotary coin, and then bringing them to lunch. So, and reading buddies, see Jenny if you can do that. We want to start forming a little bit better connection. We did at one time with Southwest School. There were some issues with the programs and that sort of thing, which caused it kind of to stop, so we need to start building that again. And I'm assuming that to be a reading buddy, you actually have to know how to read yourself. Okay, other than that.
Sunshine Readers, and I did it, and you have to understand, a lot of these kids, their parents expect the school to be the only ones to educate them. They don't do anything with them at home, and these kids are just really sweet, and they love it, the fact that they've got somebody focused on them and reading their stories, and they'll want to tell you about their day or about their life at home. It's just it's a time to bond with them and to make them feel special and just to be treated well. So it's a great program, so if you have time to do it, I would really encourage you to do so.
Well, in addition to that, since that program kind of folded a couple years ago, our English as a second language population just continues and continues to grow. And it's not so much that their parents don't want to help them, they can't. The kids are the ones teaching the parents through what they bring home, English. So that puts those kids at a second disadvantage because they don't have anybody at home that can pick the book up and read it to them.
Okay, well, let's make it a problem for Jenny to schedule everybody. So. Okay, we also are supporting the Christmas Bureau this year, and the Christmas Bureau is a sort of a joint venture of several different groups, one of which is Salvation Army, and we're providing $5,000 for purchase of books and for the Christmas Bureau. And today, Captain Christine Harris is here to tell us a little bit about that. And I have a check here for Christine for the to go ahead and buy those books.
Good afternoon. It is an honor to be here, and I really want to thank you for this. The Christmas Bureau is a group of agencies that come together so that we can provide Christmas for children whose parents aren't able to. If you've ever volunteered, it is a lot of fun and a lot of work. For my part as the Salvation Army, my responsibility is serving all the children that are 12 and under. And that's a lot of kids. That's what those beautiful angel trees and those annoying but wonderful bells go out, because that's where I get some of my money my husband lets me spend. And a part of that is we provide clothes, we try to provide toys, and for the last couple of years we haven't been able to provide books. Sarah, who's a member here, has had that as a passion on her heart, so she approached us as she was with GHCCM, and because of her wonderful legwork and y'all being willing to, I'm actually able to go to a special book fair and purchase books at an extremely discounted rate. So I am extremely excited and very passionate about the reading, that we will be able to provide, I'm praying, one brand new book per child. And that is a very, very big deal, especially if you don't come from a family that values reading or has the money to buy a brand new book. Part of what I'm going to be doing is creating a sticker, and it's going to have your Rotary Club symbol on it. So when the kid opens the book, they'll actually be able to say that this book was provided by the Rotary, and it's going to have their place for them to put their name, and that is going to be theirs. We had this program in Virginia where I was, and my kids were a recipient of a book, and they still have those books. They said, we can't give them away because it's got my name on it. So I appreciate this. This is really, I'm sorry, this makes a big difference for us. And to be able to touch kids' lives, not just with a toy, but when you can provide clothes and an educational resource, it makes a big, big difference. So I really, truly, as you can tell, I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Okay, and we'll have volunteer opportunities available. As that gets closer, we'll be detailing exactly what is available for us to help set that up and help take families through, and also to help clean up. So that comes the 1st of December. So in the next month, we'll have a lot of opportunities for you. Okay, for the 5th year, we have supported Imagination Library, and this is administrated through the partnership of for children, that Leslie is going to come and tell us a little bit about where that stands right now. And we are presenting $25,000 to that effort.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
it's
much.
not made out to Leslie, which he requested.
Three times I told Bob to make it out to me, but he wouldn't do it. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for your support. And I also wanted to mention what Captain Christine had said about literacy, or about these families receiving books. I would imagine that a majority of those families are already enrolled in our program, and if they're not, we will have enrollment forms available to them at the Christmas Bureau, so we continue the work of the Imagination Library. But I just wanted to kind of give y'all a quick update. With your support, the partnership was able to bring Dolly Parton's Imagination Library program to the children of Catawba County back in April of 2011. And since that time, we have been able to provide over 120,000 books to young children right here in our community. The Dollywood Foundation significantly offsets the cost of the books, so each book that is sent to a Catawba County child is free for families and only costs us about $2. Your ongoing support has allowed us to build our local program to serve over 4,600 Catawba County children each month. A recent evaluation indicates that together we are making a considerable impact on early literacy in our community. 86% of parents report that they are reading more often to their children and that their children are becoming more excited about reading, which is exactly what we wanted for the program. And I also wanted to note that that the books that are marked undeliverable, the post office hangs onto those books for us, and we pick those up and relabel it take the family's address and everything off and label it with our logo, and disseminate those books back out into the community, such as Exodus Homes, ETRICM, CCM, the Salvation Army, Family Care Center, Safe Harbor, and Unifor Peds has a box. We also donate those books back to child care centers. So we would not have been able to start and continue to grow the Imagination Library program in our community without the support of Hickory Rotary. So on behalf of these children and families, and ultimately the elementary, middle, and high school teachers of these Catawba County children, we want to thank you very much for your support. And I also, even though David mentioned it earlier, I also wanted to give a shout out to a couple of folks, or several folks that came to help us this past Saturday. Lamar, Michael, Mark, and Jamie Brown, and you can see their picture on the table. And I also wanted to thank Mark Seaman for sending some crawdads folks yesterday afternoon that were able to help. So there's lots more painting to do. We've got this lovely wood paneling that we're trying to cover up. So if you're interested in volunteering on Saturday, just let me know. There's flyers on the table, and again, we really thank you for your support.
Okay, I think our money's being used wisely and it's making an impact in the community, and that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to find things that we can help happen that would not otherwise happen. And that's the big thing that we're trying to do. And then also help them to be sustainable going forward. So sell those ads, because that's where that's why you do it, is because we do some great things like this for the community. Okay, Rich, we're ready for the raffle. Remember, next week we're meeting with Lake Hickory Club, but it's here, our regular time, nothing different, just sit in a different place.
We started out with
$1,411.
$68 today.
Added 68 today.
$1,479.27.
So $1,479.27 in the pot. Something like that. How many cards we got?
We have, oh, I'm sorry, we've got 31 cards, one joker.
31 cards and a joker.
Who's drawn?
You, I guess.
Me.
Okay. 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. 544, 321. We hope he doesn't.
Charles, you said you never win.
I know, but I did. I knew I was going. I started going up here.
All right. All right. His half goes to Southwest School if he wins. So we usually ask for.
Can you pray?
We usually ask for failure here, but maybe he's putting the bonus on us. Well, it's a black card, but it's not the ace of spades. Free lunch. Okay, Mark, thanks for coming back. Tara, thanks for seeing you again. We appreciate you being here. Jeff, George, and Floyd, thanks for making up with us. Any other announcements? Stan.
Need the new members to meet me over here for a photograph.
And you'll need to come back by here so that I can fill out, sign your certificates. And the membership and orientation committee is meeting at the back table right after that, right, Linda? Thanks for not letting me forget. Any other announcements? John.
President David, in case anybody missed it, the Western Piedmont Symphony, under the direction of John Gordon Ross, was heard across the nation on PBS stations this past Monday with their monthly, weekly program, and I think it's incredible that we've got such a beautiful symphony under the direction of such a terrific guy, and I really think he needs a vote of confidence.
That's available. You can pull that up.
Performancetoday.org. Go to the October 12th program, second hour, 44 minutes and 12 seconds.
In case you were wondering.
TMI, sorry.
All right, great. Well, let's rise and adjourn with 482.